Hi, today we're talking about IELTS. So, what is IELTS? IELTS is the International English Language Testing System. It's the world's most popular English language test, for higher education and global migration. So, why migration? Because if you want to live or study in USA, Canada, New Zealand, some country where they talk on English, you will need to be accepted. Um, and to be accepted, you need to do this exam. So I will repeat it. This exam is essential for those who want to move to an English speaking country. And why? Why is important? It's very important because it measures your English language skills like reading, writing, listening, and speaking. There are four you will need to study. And it's very, very important to be prepared for this exam. Why? Because it's very difficult exam, and if you get a good score, it will be easily for you to be as acceptable internationally. So get prepared for this exam. There are many ways to study, and we will talk about the four skills you need to learn.
Where can I take the IELTS exam? Most of the IELTS testing rooms are hosted by the British Council buildings. In language academies or universities, you can take it too. But in IELTS has a lot of test centers, so you can make the exam in other many countries in the world. Some examples are Argentina, Armenia, Australia, Austria, Belgium, Benin, Republic Bermuda, Vita, Bolivia, Bosnia, Botswana, New Zealand, Nigeria, and of course Mexico and many others. Which countries and institutions accept the IELTS exam? Well, the IELTS exam is accepted by over 10,000 organizations in all over 140 countries. Most popular countries that accept this exam for university admissions are New Zealand, Canada, and United States.
Okay, now we're talking about the reading IELTS exam. The reading IELTS exam lasts 40 minutes. In this section, you will be evaluated your reading skills in three different ways. Okay, you will be reading three texts of 2,500 words altogether. These texts are taken from books, journals, magazines, and in these three parts are 13 points each. The type of questions are multiple. You will take a choice of those multiple choices. You will pick your answer. Then are ones that you need to fill with true or false. You will say like this part didn't came in exam. Okay, so you put false, or this part it's true. I wrote it, so you put true. And in this section are many types, but the most important ones are skimming, read fast, grab some main ideas, snaining, maybe look for information data, and what you must have in mind that the questions aren't in order. The question will not be in order, okay? So grab the ideas of, of things you think are important.
Speaking part. It's a very important part of this exam. They grade you about how you talk, and that's why there are three parts. The time in this part are very important and is a factor that you can consider to be aware of. In the first part, you need to talk about 1 minute or three. In the second, 1 minute to two. And in the third part, you need to talk 3 minutes exactly. There are types of topics that they ask you in this speaking part. In the first part, they ask you about your friend's hometown and family. In the second part, they ask you about a random topic that you will need to talk. And in the third part, they ask you a reflection questions. Here's some tips about these parts. In the first one, you don't stop until they stop you. In the second one, if you don't know that topic, you can really tell them that you don't know about that topic, but you can tell some of things that you know. And in the third part, there's a phrase that can save you for a lot of trouble. I don't remember now, I knew it yesterday, but I'm sure I will remember tomorrow. That phrase will save you for a few seconds.
In the writing part of IELTS exam, in the first task, you need to write 150 words in 20 minutes. And in the second task, you need to write 250 words on 40 minutes. So in the first task, you have graphics of information that you need to describe, or maybe diagrams or flow charts, and could be more than one graph. So the test ability you will need is describe an object or maybe events or sequence of events. Explain how something works. They give you the instructions, you will read it fast, and you will describe everything of the graph. And for the second task, they give you the topic. The topic you will need to have the opinion, your opinion for and against, and maybe advantages and disadvantages, problems and solutions. And for this part, you will need arguments, your personally arguments, and maybe ideas and evidence, communicate equality, vocabulary, and sentence structure. So in this, I will explain the second part. So they give you something that passed, and you will explain it. You will say this and this happened, and what is the solution? And you will put your personal solution. I think with an argument. I think that walk it's good for us because it will be great for the humanity, and that's the solution. So that's how it works. The second task.
Listening. In this part of the IELTS exam, there are four parts and it takes 30 minutes and there are 40 questions. In the first part, it's a dialogue, and also in the third one, and in the second one, and in the fourth one, it's a monologue. And before the exam starts, they give you a few minutes to read all the questions, so use it. The record will only play once, and they at the end will give you 10 minutes to pass the answers to your answer sheet. So don't worry about passing in the time of the exam. Some tips for listening. In the first part, you need to search for very specific information like hours, names, or even addresses. In the third part will be a very hard language, so pay attention. In the fourth part is gonna be very quick and fast, So if you miss, don't worry, keep on. And if you try to listen a question that you didn't, you will keep losing answers. So don't.